Hi Sagittarius, I hope you guys are doing great today. This is going to be done a little differently, this reading, because I'm actually going to do the some astrology in the beginning. I'm not going to be doing it separate. I like to just check out the energy in the sky when I even do my general readings. I'm not talking about when I do my straight up astrology stuff. And there's just so much going on in the sky the first week. I think, you know what? Let's talk about the full moon in Aquarius that's happening on the 3rd and the rest of the energies for the month, specific only to Sagittarius. And then we'll pull the cards. So if you're not interested in the astrology, no worries. Just jump forward to when you see me starting to pull the cards. I'm not going to be time stamping this time, guys. I'm sorry. I just don't have the time this go around. But let's get into this. So we do have this full moon. This is the general chart for all of us. So we do have this interesting dynamic going on here. This full moon in Aquarius at 11 degrees with Leo at 11 degrees in the sun. We have it squaring Uranus, which is going to be in Taurus. So we need to talk about this a little bit. So, you know, this full moon occurs when the sun in Leo forms the opposition to the moon in Aquarius, and the full moon is a time of culmination and the promise of fulfillment of whatever seed you planted at that new moon. And it's an emotional time. You know, it's a time of romance, of fertilization, relationships, guys, because remember, it's Leo. There's a Leo in there. Aquarius is also about moving into the future. So, you know, the two of these combined, this is a very, very big game changer. Now, the Leo sun is very proud and intensely individual. And Aquarius is very individual too, except it does value the team and the community and the group spirit. So we have this opposition, which just simply means there's tension there. There's tension between the me and the we here in this energy. Okay, so this full moon is going to illuminate this conflict. Now, when a full moon occurs, we can suddenly burst out with these announcements and these proclamations, right? Especially when there's a Leo involved. And everything seems like a really good idea, except the problem is, we don't have all the information yet. So not everything is fully rationalized yet. We don't fully know. So we're so entrenched in the planning mode and in problem solving mode right now, but we truly don't have all of the information yet. So this is going to become very, very clear. But just know that whatever the full moon illuminates, feelings, attitudes, circumstances, they're already in existence. You know, going on somewhere, if not your conscious mind, your subconscious. So this is definitely, there's an awakening moment here with this energy. Whenever there's Uranus involved and any kind of funny transit with it, there's always going to be like, boom, awakening, right? Now, the moon square to Uranus suggests that we should watch out for prematurity, for any sort of abrupt changes, any kind of rebellion. And I don't want to take it on to the societal level, guys. I just don't want to do that on my channel. I would rather play a little like Switzerland with all of this right now on my channel. So I want you to just, you know, focus that in on your a more micro perspective, a more interpersonal perspective in your life. Like, you know, you're going to feel this area where you're going to feel a little rebellious. You're going to feel a little, you want to make sure, you know, to be forewarned is to be forearmed, right? You want to make sure that you're not jumping into anything too prematurely. Okay? Let's just say it like that. But this phase of the moon occurs, again, at 11 degrees of Aquarius, 11 degrees of Leo. So if you know your chart, definitely see where you have that in your chart having to do with house placements, because then you'll know more specifically, you know, how it's going to be impacting you. So I'm going to be talking about this aspect, that, you know, this portion very generally, okay? But I do want to say that the fixed signs, now you guys are not a fixed sign, but you may not, maybe if Sagittarius is your sun, but I don't know what your rising is, what your moon, what your Venus is. The fixed signs are Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, and Aquarius. Those placements, particularly anyone at 8 to 16 degrees, are going to be feeling it the strongest, okay? So all of that's going to be happening on the 3rd. And guys, this is big. I'm not talking about the next cycle, the next chapter. This is the next flipping book of your life. You understand? Like, whatever's done is done. now you're walking through the portal and you're going into literally like the next volume of your life. You just are. I mean, when we have Uranus like this, there's just no question where we have so much Uranus energy, first of all, because Aquarius is ruled by Uranus, right? And we have the square going on, but then it's like this, these two separate inconjuncts. And the thing is, when we have an energy like this, there's no thinking your way out of anything. There's no rationalizing your way out of anything. It requires hardcore action, right? Hardcore action. So, you're needing to figure out, okay, my future is right in front of me. Where do I feel creative? Because let's talk about the Leo, with the Leo and the Sun here that's opposing this full moon. What happens with Leo? Well, Leo's the landlord of the fifth house. What happens in the fifth house? It's our house of fun. It rules our children, love affairs, boyfriend, girlfriend connections, not necessarily marital connections. That's more seventh house, but love affairs, the act of sex, what we do with our partner, regardless of what type of relationship we have on a Monday through Sunday kind of thing, what we do for fun, our hobbies. It has to do with our entrepreneurial spirit and our entrepreneurial endeavors, anything that we cultivate and grow. But it has everything to do with our creativity. So you're going to have this tension now between I want to go into the future, I want to do this, I want to do, but it's something is happening in this with that Leo energy that is creating this tension. So something may be going on with your kids, something going on with your relationship, something going on what it is that you really want to do, a business that you want to start. There's some sort of tension there. And then we have Uranus in here, who's the trailblazer, who's just shaking everything up. In Taurus, now the thing is, Taurus is the landlord of our second house of resources. And when I say resources, I don't only mean money. Second house is everything that we value. So yeah, it's money, all kinds of resources, but it's also the food we put in our mouth. It's our family. It's our life. It's things that matter to us. There is a global change in that Taurian energy because of this transit. So you just have to understand this is truly, truly big. So that's happening on the 3rd. Now on the 4th, we have Mercury is going to be going into Leo. And I actually like this because our thinking is going to be super confident, very grand. Our goals are going to be very grand. The bigger the better. No one's going to be paying attention to the minutia or any of the details of anything, which is fine, because even if you try to pay attention to the details, it'll be different in an hour. That's just the way the energy is right now. And we'll talk about all of the squares and all of the other stuff going on in a moment, but it's enough that you are in the planning phase. So I do like this. Now, the only little caveat here is while you're going to be persuasive and while you're going to be very communicative, right? Because we have this, this Mercury energy in there. You want to make sure, and as I've been saying in all the videos, that the volume is turned up on your ears, because there is a tendency when we have Mercury in Leo to not be very good listeners. So I'm saying this to you. You may be like this to someone else, or you may have this experience, happen to you by somebody's like, oh, hello, you're not hearing me, you're not listening to me. Just give them some grace and understand that it's this transit, okay? And just be kind and say, oh, you know what? Maybe we can talk about that again, and just, be a little more open, something like that. And then on the 7th, we do have Venus and the North Node going into Cancer. And I'm really happy about this because it's been in conjunct with Neptune. And that's why everybody's like, I don't know how I feel about this situation, really. I kind of know how I feel, but I'm not fully sure, and I'm not, it's this fogginess, right? I mean, whenever Neptune's there, like I always say, it's like trying to look at reality through a really dirty window. You could sort of see, but you can't see everything. And so going into Cancer, very sensitive space, very fertile space. Be careful if you don't want to get pregnant, for those of you in that part of life. But this could definitely bring a beautiful snuggly energy for those of you in a healthy relationship. And if you're not no relationship, this could make you feel very connected to your home, to your roots, snuggling up with Netflix and, like a nice cozy drink, okay, something like that. Now, if you're in a relationship or in a space or having a situation going on in your home where there's stress and there's conflict, this can bring heightened sensitivity. Again, so just to let you know, that's going to be what's going on. So that stuff is what's going on. I'm just going to put these over on the side. That's what's going to be going on that first week of August, okay? Now, going into like the 3rd week of August, I want to talk about the squares that are going to be going on. So we have Mars is going to be squaring Pluto, Saturn, and Jupiter. Mars in your 5th house of everything that I just said of fun, right? Having to do with romance, sex, how you connect with your partner, your children, your business endeavors, your activities, your hobbies, okay? Mars is in there hanging out with all of that fun stuff, right? That's Leo. It's creativity. It's all of that. And then we have in your 2nd house of resources, Pluto, which is all about transformation, Saturn, which is all about restriction and karma and things unfolding very slowly, right? There's this element of time attached to it. And Jupiter's in there, and Jupiter expands whatever it's in. So guys, this is like a big, like, kind of transformation, but to make it even more, a little more intense, and I don't think this is that big a deal, but it does make it a smidge more intense, is the fact that everybody's retrograde. Everybody's retrograde. So there's this looking in while we're doing this release, because this square is going to be creating this tension between your 2nd house of resources and your 5th house of creativity, fun, children, romance, okay? There's definitely going to be this tension there. Now, what's going to happen is, though, Mars needs to help out Pluto, Saturn, and Jupiter, for lack of a better term, just to make it easy for you, okay? What needs to be released is outdated thinking having to do with resources, things that you value. That needs to be addressed, and your thinking there needs to be updated, and Mars isn't going to have it any other way. And if you don't go along with it, Mars is just going to fix it for you, because Mars is the Tower in tarot. So those of you who know the cards, you guys know, everybody's kind of like, no, the Tower, but it's always for our highest good, because the bottom line here is whatever is needing to be updated is outdated. You understand? And it's because you haven't seen the red flags. You haven't been able to see something clearly enough. Maybe you had rose-colored glasses on for whatever reason. We're all guilty of that at some point or another. But this is what needs to happen. Okay, so there's going to be this release. Now, it's going to be, you're going to need to lose something having to do with your resources. But it's not, it sounds horrible. It's not. There's tension there. There needs to be a revisit. Now, where is the answer to that revisit? Is in your ability to be creative, is in your ability to be creative in your business. If it has something to do maybe with your children, addressing something going on with your kids, addressing something going on with your partner within that relationship. Right? So that's, this is where the energies have to swap out and help each other, because it's this tension that's squared. So it needs, and Mars is going to be like, you just need to change. And in order for you to change, I want to help you. Come here, come to the 5th house. I want to help you out. Okay. So hopefully that makes sense to you. Something is going to be updated that is for your highest good. Now, after that, and we have the Galactic Center activating the South Node in Sag, and this happens every 19 years, guys. So not a very common thing. This is a big one. This is releasing karmic ties. Now, Sag, for you guys, it's going to be in your 1st house. So I have to tell you, some of you guys may go out for a whole new look. A whole new look, right? Because, and it's in a way maybe to look a way that you did once upon a time, or to get back into shape, or to look the way you did at one time, right? Because the South Node is all about revisiting. It's right about this past. But regardless, a lot of you are going to be feeling that, right? You're going to feel a shift in your personality and how you see the world and how the world sees you. I mean, that's big. This is big. This is, think of it, I want you to think of it as karma burning off. Oh, something that needs to be released in that 1st house of self. How you've been, meeting the world, how you've been showing up in the world. It needs to be burnt off, and it needs to be replaced. Okay, but this is really, really good. Okay, because in this energy, something returns in this activation. Now, for a lot of you, I could feel the cringing from here. No, I don't want anything from my past coming back. For a lot of you, it's just simply going to be nostalgia. It's going to be a remembering, and it's in that nostalgia where there's going to be this healing, because whatever comes up right now, it's meant to heal and or revisit for transformation. But the old something, whatever it is, the old way of doing something, that old person, whatever it is, needs to go. That way that you were meeting the world, the way that you were thinking about those things, it all needs to be kind of like burnt off in this energy. Do you know what I'm saying? So that's really, it's really beautifully supported, though. I do want to say that. So that's nothing to be scared about. You should actually feel really excited about it. So it's a good energy to plan out, you know, a new look and something like that. And then we have the new moon on the 18th. So that's going to be a Leo and Mercury kind of energy. Okay, so what's happening here is the sun and the moon are going to meet to create and communicate. And it's something that you've been focused on in your soul. And this is something that's going to really start getting the ball rolling forward. And you're not going to really see the culmination of it, though, until the spring. And this has to do with your 9th house, which is you guys. First of all, you guys are the landlord, right? It's your own house, but it's your belief systems. And yes, I really like this because you guys are the South Node right now. So this is really where you're going to start feeling those nodal energies, Sag, in August. Yeah, I mean, this is where you are establishing a new way of seeing your life. What do you want for yourself? What do you think the right career is? What do you think is the right thing for you in relationship? What are your boundaries? What are your needs? What are your limitations? What are you open to? What are you not? What are the deal breakers? And you're going to be, it's just such a supportive energy to just kind of put all of this out there. And guys, I really recommend, you know, and again, you guys know, if you've been watching me, I'm not a big proponent of telling people their process. You know, I think we all need to figure out our stuff on our own. But I could tell you, if you write down in blue ink on a piece of paper what it is that you want for yourself, right, in this belief system, what you're adopting, fold it up and put it somewhere safe and just leave it alone. Leave it alone and just let life do her thing. And you're going to notice that what you've written down is going to start to culminate and come into fruition around springtime. And finally, and super positive for a few weeks, Venus in your 8th house. I love Venus being in your 8th house because that is a tough house. It is. It's about transformation. Scorpio's the landlord there. Yes, that has to do with how we show up when we meet with other. It has to do with inheritance. It has to do with any sort of insurance payouts, our business partnerships, our regular partnerships, literally our partners' resources. So this could indicate be very beneficial for your partner's resources, or also how you guys show up together as a partner. You know, whether it's intimate or whether it's a business connection or even in a close family connection where you guys have a shared soul purpose. So I do like that for you. Venus is going to just lighten that house up for you, which is really, really great. All right, so that's it for the astrology. Let's get into the cards. We're going to use the Crystal Visions Tarot. Let's pull some Lenormand, throw some Astro dice, get some extra messages. So we have Libra. What's fair? Also making sure that everything is equitable. You don't. Okay, and then we have Mercury in here. Mercury's all about communication. And we have the 1st house. Yes. So I like it because Libra, first of all, is ruled by Venus. And then we have Venus. We got the 1st house, learning something new. You're just going to be adopting just a new sense to yourself. I just feel that very strongly with this Mercury energy. I really like it. Now with the Mercury, it's time to just gather information to figure out some sort of situation, because I feel like you've been involved in something where you have been sacrificing what your wants, needs, and desires are, Sag. I just feel like that. And now it's time to focus on you. Yeah, go get, get a new look, go get a massage. Even though that's a 12th house energy, still take care of yourself. Go buy some new clothes. Do something really good for you in this energy. Absolutely. All right. Let's see what we have here. Okay. So we have flowers. Okay. Sagittarius, somebody's going through it, but it's a gift. You're going through something that's releasing you from a gilded cage. You've been carrying the burden of somebody else in your life. It's time for redemption. Something is over. We got the coffin. Something is over as it was. This is a challenging card, the cross, because this is the Christ card, right? And what did Christ do? Christ carried the cross, you know, for and was hung on the cross for our sins, right? Nailed to the cross for our sins. So there's this idea of needing to bear the burden of somebody else's issues, and it's just time for redemption to happen in your life. And this is happening. I mean, this is just about a life. Oh my gosh, Sagittarius. Oh, I have chills. I feel like, oh, this is so beautiful. Because I honestly feel like this is truly a message from the other side. I don't know who has loved ones on the other side or if this is just from spirit. I really can't tell. It's very muddled for me right now. But this is a gift to you. The flowers are a gift. This cage, you're opening up, you're releasing the mystery inside of yourself. You've been held in some sort of gilded cage psychologically, emotionally, and I don't even think that you've realized the extent of it up until now. But it's enough that you have been carrying somebody else's burden to such a point that there is redemption needed, but that's over. And this is the thing, though, you have to be very careful because somebody very, very sneaky is in your midst. I don't know if this is a partner, a business partner. I don't know if this is if this is a work situation that you got out of, good, because this was not good for you. If this was a marriage or a relationship, this is in your best interest. Even if your heart is broken in a million pieces right now, there is something about this that should not be trusted. This is the thing. When we have the fox energy, somebody can be saying something super sweet to your face that sounds very endearing and very promising and very positive and healthy. They don't mean it. This is not a good energy. You cannot trust it. You can't. Sorry, cross watchers. That's what I'm getting. That's what it is. The energies could always be vice versa. That I do have to say. You know, as we always have to say in tarot. That's the message that I'm getting here. This is a gift, though. Bullet dodged, bullet dodged, bullet dodged. Something's over. It's time for you to be free. Allow it to be over, but watch out for this energy. You know what? I feel like I want to just pull one more. Because what's going to happen after this fox? Ooh, something's getting cut out. Good. What's getting cut out? A man. A man is getting cut out. Somebody's going to get busted for being sneaky. If you are a man watching, that will be you. In Lenormand, it's literal. Okay, guys? You have to understand the different systems. It's different than tarot. Tarot is, you know, there's no gender, right? The queen can be male or female, it doesn't matter. Here, the man does. So this is like very swiftly cutting out a man. So whoever's going to resonate with that, right? This is a general reading. We're not going to be able to get everyone's energy, every Sagittarius across the globe, obviously, right? But yeah. So if you're a guy, this could be you, where you're getting cut out of a situation. You could be in a same-sex relationship. Could be either one of you. Or if you're a female with a male, it's the male getting cut out. But it's following the fox, so it's whoever was being very sneaky once something was trying to end. So there could have been some sort of manipulation, some sort of deceit. Okay, yes, good. Very good. Knight of Pentacles, good. Knight of Cups, yeah, good. Queen of Pentacles, okay. Two of Cups. Let me pull these and then I'll interpret the Lenormand for career. Mm-hmm. 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 I like that we got Judgment as the outcome. That's very healthy. Good. All right. So if you are here for just career, there was some sort of healthy connection that you were involved in with work. It doesn't necessarily have to be a business connection, because this male could certainly be your boss. This could be a colleague. This could be somebody at work. But this was somebody very deceitful. So if your job ended because somebody sold you out, or somebody did something underhanded to you, somebody was incredibly unfair, somebody was very narcissistic, something like that. But I do like that we have the redemption card here for you. The redemption is the ending of something. Do you follow? It's like the redeeming comes from allowing something to go, because you were dealing with a very, very shady energy here that needed to be cut out. Now we have coming into this the Five of Swords. So the Five of Swords is a Venus and Aquarius energy. Five is conflict. Swords are communication. It's truth. It's what's happening. Okay, so, and this is having some sort of argument about the reality of what happened, what really happened. Is it possible for anything to be any different going into the future? Probably not, you know, and it's this kind of energy, right? The current situation, we have the Nine of Pentacles. Okay, let's call this I Can Breathe card, crossed by the Nine of Cups. Now, the current energy could be what you're very focused on right now. So you could be very focused on just having enough money where you could just breathe and have a little bit of wiggle room, right? I mean, this is a Venus and Virgo energy. So it's about, you know, maybe you've been really, really concerned about bills, and you're just very focused on, if you're not in a space already, just very focused on a space of just getting it where you're paying your bills relatively comfortably, and you have a little left over to just breathe a little bit, right? And this is being crossed by the Knight of Cups. So yeah, so the Knight of Cups is an Aquarius and Pisces energy. Aquarius is all about doing something different than you are right now, and it's going towards a dream space. So for those of you here with career, this could indicate you thinking about doing something new for your career that's going to bring you what you need. If you're not here for career and it's about relationship, this is about you possibly meeting somebody new that's going to allow you to go more towards your ideal vision in your mind's eye of what a healthy relationship is. Or it could certainly be you being in a space of trying to figure out what that actually means, right? What that actually means. So as far as the crowning energy goes, we have the Queen of Pentacles. Okay, so this is a Sagittarius and Capricorn energy, guys. So this is pretty literal for those of you here with career. The Sagittarius is about moving forward with integrity, with luck and expansion, right? And Capricorn rules work. So it quite literally is moving into either a new path at work, leveling up at work, starting a new business, something new happening in work. Okay, very literally in that way. If this has to do with relationship, this could be you being very focused on moving yourself forward and really figuring out, oh, how do I shake off this nasty karma from this past relationship, and what's necessary for me to work on something moving forward in a really healthy way, so that I'm open and available energetically for a beautiful, healthy relationship. Because Pentacles doesn't only mean money, it means mental, physical, and emotional connection. Right? So it's thinking about that. And the foundation is the Two of Cups. So, you know, this is kind of similar-ish to the Lover's card, except this is a very direct, it's a newer energy, okay? The Lover's energy is usually an older energy. The Two of Cups is a newer energy, and it's this promise where you guys are going to really give it your best and try to commit to working this relationship out. Open communication, being honest with each other, being faithful, you know, kind of creating those guidelines in the relationship. So you're not just dating. This isn't the very beginning anymore. This is like, okay, we're going to do this kind of energy. And you're very much in that space of figuring out, you know, how you can bring this to yourself. Now, some of you, the Two of Cups, if you're not with anybody, you could certainly be meeting somebody new. Between the Knight of Cups, the Queen of Pentacles, and the Two of Cups, this can indicate a new energy coming in. Now, the Two of Cups, by the way, in having to do with business, it means you resonating greatly with whatever it is that you're doing. So if it's an entrepreneurial activity and you're actually independent, you're not dealing with anyone, it's you being in a very close heart space with what you do, and like you're just really happy and resonating. It's like your sweet spot. If it has to do with a business partnership, you guys having a very healthy connection, communication, very open, can go the same way with colleagues, coworkers, employees, and employers as well. Okay, and then we have the Fool as you right now. So this is, I like this. This is a Uranus energy. Uranus rules the future. More specifically, it does rule technology. So some of you may be entering into a new career in technology. Some of you may be meeting somebody new via technology. The Fool is all about doing something different on a completely new path. So this is like uncharted territory and taking a calculated risk and it going really, really well. Now you have an external energy to you. Now this is not you, Sag. This is external to you. That's having a really tough time. This Nine of Swords energy is anxiety. It's depression. It's, I call it the 3 a.m. card. It's it's like the kind of ruminating thoughts that you just can't escape, you know? It's like over and over again, you know, in your mind, and just trying to escape it, trying to figure out what happened in something, right? Somebody is doing that. This is Mars in Gemini. If Mars is that warrior planet, that fighter energy, and Gemini is about communication. So this is somebody ruminating about some sort of arguments, the discord, what happened, what fell apart. They're very worried about something that's gone on here. Very worried. And they're trying to figure out how to get themselves out of something. Well, and then we have, you know what? Yeah, go back to that Fox energy. And then we have the World. The World in your fear. You don't have to be afraid of the world. No. But the World is a Saturn energy, and the Saturn is just about, man, you've been through enough, and it's time for some positive karma to come your way. But Sag, I feel like a lot of you are not very much in your faith right now. I think a lot of you you're focusing on moving forward, you're focusing on your future, you're getting up, you're doing what you're supposed to do, you're doing all of that. But I feel like, at least for some of you resonating with this, there's a little dent in your faith right now. There is a dent in the faith, and you know, that could make us scared of the World energy, because it's like, oh, that's never going to happen kind of thing, you know, and you don't want to set yourself up for disappointment. You just don't want to deal with that. Who wants to deal with that? That's what I'm feeling here. And then the outcome is about the Judgment energy. So there's a need to make a decision, particularly regarding a family situation here in the Judgment. And it has to do with something in the past, okay? Now, with the Judgment energy, we need to forgive, and we need to forgive. I feel like, why do I feel like I might have gotten this for you last week? But I feel like this is really important for you guys to do, because it's reflecting on whatever it was that you were in, the relationship, that job, whatever it was, even dealing with the sneaky energy who had to get cut out. You did the best you knew how with what you had available to you. And it's just you forgiving yourself and forgiving them too. Because what's the point of holding on to all the anger? Nothing. You know that what happened. Toothpaste is out of the tube, even though it hurts and all of that. You have to work on trying to let something go and forgive, because that's the best way that you can show yourself self-love and really lift the energetic blocks. But it's not easy. It's not easy, especially because you have so much disappointment. You're very disappointed. The Four of Cups energy is that checklist card. You know, it's like they did A, B, and C, and I cannot believe that they did that. And it's really challenging for me to get past this right now. And you need to look a little deeper, though, with the Four of Cups, because whatever they did is poking an unhealed wound in you that is speaking back to your childhood, a past relationship, something. It goes deeper than just the surface of what's gone on here. And it's created not only disappointment, but disillusionment in you. And you know, and that's a tough energy to get past, okay? Now, for those of you in a space where you're married, the Four of Cups energy can indicate that you're so busy doing everything else in life that you're just not really paying attention to your relationship, and you're feeling really, really bored. And you're not liking how you're feeling in this state of boredom. And this is something that you need to address, right? Because you don't want to stay in something just to stay in it. If you feel like it's already reached its expiration date, or it needs extra life infused into it, but maybe you're not willing to, and that's something that you have to look at as well. You know, so yeah, I mean, even having to do with, circling back a little bit, having to do with work, the Fool is you taking a new chance, doing something different as far as your work goes. You know, but this can have to do, the Nine of Swords can have to do with either somebody that you're working with or somebody you were working with. you know, that Nine of Swords energy. Somebody else, somebody you're stressing that you used to work with, or somebody that you're working with right now. Maybe you want to leave, right? But you're afraid of the world. It's like you're afraid of taking that chance. I do see this. So whatever happened here, again, same thing goes for career. You have to find forgiveness so that there can be healing, because judgment is a Pluto energy. It's all about transformation. So you have to allow the ending to incite the new beginning, because that's what happens with Pluto, right? But you feeling, being very, even though you should allow the transformation, something happened that's keeping you a little stuck in neutral and being able to move forward fully in that Four of Cups energy. You're very stuck on like the principle of the matter or something like that, you know? And that's a tough energy. So let me pull, we're going to first pull a couple of chakra tarot for career, and then I'll pull a few love oracles for love. Ace of Coins. Okay, good. It's a new job. Four of Cups. You're having a hard time letting go of something. Seven of Swords. All right, listen. Seven of Swords and the Fox. This is the same thing. This is a Mars and Aquarius energy. I feel differently than I'm showing you, all right? This is like, now, this could be, if this is you trying to play somebody at their own game for a minute until you could get yourself out of there. That very well could be, because I do see there being this new job opportunity with the Ace of Coins. But the Four of Cups, so coming back to that, I don't like when they do this, and this, and that was really unfair, and da-da-da. But you could be in this space where you're playing them at their own game until you do what you need to do. So if you're cutting out that partner, you're cutting out that person, you're not going to bite your nose off to spite your face. You're going to play your cards right? No pun here. So that could be that way. Others of you, you could be in the space where somebody's just being super dishonest with you, right? Go after the new job. There's a new job offer here. There is, and it's something that I really think that you should go for. Now, if this negative energy is in your new job, time to get out of there. But I'm not feeling that, because I feel like this is brand new. Just pull one more. Yeah, Five of Cups, focusing on the loss of something, focusing on the negativity of something that happened. And then we have the Seven of Wands energy, right? This is Mars and Leo. You feeling the need to defend yourself. Temperance, you guys have to find compromise in whatever mess happened here. King of Swords, you know what? Sagittarius, this is, whatever you're thinking is 100% on point, and you have to trust in your intuition, because you're not wrong. Okay? With whatever's going on in your career right now. That's what the King of Swords means. Okay. All right. Let's pull a couple of love oracles. Embrace. Through each other, you find the missing pieces. It is important right now to step back and spend some time alone. Instead of placing focus on another, now is time to give to yourself. Acceptance is the key to inner peace. At times, you must accept things as they are. There is no point trying to change that which is beyond our control. Good. I feel like, Sag, I feel like many of you are going to be meeting somebody new in the romance area, if you're here with romance. And it's going to be a very positive energy. It's time, you're letting go of something new is coming in. That's what I have for you, my friends. I hope this was helpful in some way. Thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you next week. Bye-bye.